Appreciate everything your associates do for the business. Nothing else can quite substitute for a few well-chosen, well-timed, sincere words of praise. They are absolutely free and worth a fortune. Sam Walton, founder of Walmart. Welcome to day 4 of our Gratitude Week project. I can't believe we are halfway through this week. It's been an amazing journey. I keep on noticing the changes in myself. For instance, I'm noticing that it's becoming much easier for me to find things that I'm grateful for and also big wins for the day. I sometimes come up with 3, 4, 5 small wins and I put them together and it becomes my big win of the day. And let me tell you, I've been practicing this for many years, but it's really interesting that when I'm more aware of my practice because I'm here teaching you, so I'm more aware of that's how it's going on with me, because I want to tell you everything, share with you everything I know, and even share with you something that is happening to me. So for instance, this morning when I woke up and I came here to meditate, I get up at 6 now that Gus is not at water polo practice anymore. I can wake up a little bit later. So I come down here and I meditate for 15 minutes and I do some journaling. And it was really interesting because I walked into my home office, I picked up my journal and I sat on the couch, and it was such an automatic behavior of my body. I sat and I crossed my legs. Not that you need to do that, but that's just how I've been doing. So I'm just so used to it. And I immediately started doing the deep belly breaths. And not only that, I did 3 deep belly breaths and then 3 belly with the chest breathing. And I noticed, and I actually caught myself when I actually, I leaned back my head a little bit and I opened up my arms like that, and I'm like, oh my God, I actually remember mentioning something like that in one of my videos. So because I've been doing the breathing several times a day, my body is now memorizing what I've been doing, and I realized that when I need to recall it, it's right there. It's like almost like on the tip of the tongue, and I can totally. This is amazing, and I hope that you guys are noticing that for you too. That's happening to you too. I'm gonna be honest with you. I do the breathing 4 times a day, and I recite my mantras 4 times a day. What else? And the journaling I only do first thing in the morning, and I will journal about the day before. That's how I've been doing. So I've been able to notice the difference. And today is a really awesome day. I love this day, what we're going to be talking about today. Because you see, amongst us, we have, let me get a list here because I do not want to forget this. So we have entrepreneurs, C-level executives, educators, different levels, published authors, producers, attorneys, coaches, staying-at-home parents. We have real estate agents. We have insurance brokers. We have doctors. We have 2 doctors. We have a couple of teenagers. This group is amazing. Look at all of these professionals that we have in the group. And so today I want to talk about how to cultivate an attitude of gratitude. Ooh, say that 3 times fast. How to cultivate an attitude of gratitude or a gratitude practice at your workspace, at your workplace, right? How can we extend our appreciation and gratitude to your peers and colleagues? Because you see, we spend more time with the people we work with or the people students study with than with our own family members. And when that happens, when that much interaction happens, conflicts and disagreements will arise. That's just inevitable. It's just not it's not even reasonable to expect or hope that conflict is not going to arise at the workplace. It will, just because we have, all of these people working together for so many hours, and we all have different perspectives, we all have different ideas and suggestions, and we all have different interests and different needs. And when we have to put them all together and come up with one product, or when we just have to put that all together in one big bowl, there's going to be disagreements. So how do we do it, right? How can we be successful in our daily interactions knowing that there's going to be conflict and disagreement at our workplace? Well, gratitude and appreciation are your answers. And so we just need to remember that building a culture of gratitude and appreciation can transform our work environment. It will lead to deeper connections, and those deeper connections extend out into more creativity and more collaboration, which results in much better results, much better products. So you see, studies have shown time and time again, and I want to get this right because it's really important that you have this in your email, but I want to repeat it here because studies show time and time again that simple acts of appreciation and gratitude at work result in more positive emotions, less stress, fewer health complaints, a greater sense of community and collaboration, fewer sick days, higher satisfaction with our jobs and our co-workers. And what does that result? That results in successful products, right? Whatever the product of your work is. If you are an educator, the product of your work is how you work with your students. If you are an attorney, the product of your work is how you're working with your clients and the contracts or whatever it is that you're working with them. If you are a doctor, your result is how you're working with your patients. And if you are an entrepreneur and you have products, like how that product comes out, how those services come out, it's always in high quality service and high quality product that we will present. So it's really important to develop that gratitude culture in our workplace. And I gotta say, any one of us can start this. It doesn't really have come from the top, right? Because due to our mirroring neurons in the brain, when you are nice to me, I will immediately be nice to you. When you talk to me in a defensive way, my brain picks up on that, and I immediately start protecting myself, bringing up that wall, and I will talk to you in a defensive way as well. If you are coming to me and you are really sad, I pick up on that, and I kind of feel sad too. Like, this is called empathy, but more than that is the mirroring neurons that are working on picking up nuances of our conversation and responding in kind. So if we want people to treat us with kindness and appreciation, we need to do that, and we'll receive that in return. So for our journaling practice today, before I get that, so how can we do that, right? So for the past 3 days, we've been working on simple gratitude journaling activities, and those can be used towards your peers, towards your colleagues. Just finding things you're grateful for every day that something does, and say thank you. Like, thank you, it's so underutilized and it's so needed nowadays. Because you see, one of our basic human needs is to be loved, to feel that we belong, to be understood, to be heard, to be appreciated. And honestly, thank you does all of that, right? Even when I'm just doing my job, when you say thank you to me, I feel appreciated. I feel understood. I feel that I belong here. And then all of the other good stuff that we already talked about just comes cascading from that. So saying thank you all the time, it's so good. It's good for the giver and it's good for the receiver. Appreciating the little things that people do. Send them notes, thank you notes, if you can during the day. And how about compliments? right? Oh, look, your hair looks so nice. Women love to be complimented. And for men, they like to be nice and polite and be complimented for the help that they give. Or, you know your colleagues, you know what they like to be complimented about. So let's do that. Let's extend more appreciation to what our peers do on a daily basis. And they will do that in kind. They will retribute that to us. And that's going to feel good. It's a feel good all around. So we have a little bit longer journaling prompt that I gave to you, and it's a suggestion, of course. But I felt that at this time in the project, you can kind of sit down, think about a peer, think about situations where that colleague of yours had done something that you find admirable, or that was really nice to you, that touched you in your heart in some way, that offered value to others or to you. So I have the list there, so I'm not going to repeat here because you guys received it in an email. And so I would like, if possible, that you guys do that for 3 people, right? And after you do all that journaling, you have all of that information fresh in your mind. Send a thank you note. But this thank you note today, it's a little bit more specific. You're gonna be specific about your thank you. Thank you for doing this, or thank you for when you did that. That just gives that a little extra appreciation to the person, because they know exactly what you're talking about. And believe me, the more gratitude they receive for something that they did, the more they want to keep doing it. Because remember that dose of dopamine, every time that they get the thank you from you, that makes them feel good. And so they are going to do it again, because they want to get that dopamine dose in their heads, in their brains, I'm sorry. And I, as a little challenge for you, I give that bonus points. If you can, after you do the 3 thank yous to the people that, you appreciate and you find admirable, or have touched you in certain, in your heart in a different way, let's see if you can think about a colleague that you're in conflict with or have certain disagreement. And let's see if you can do that journaling for them. I want you to really search in your heart the goodness of that person, some good things that they've done in the past, how they helped other people, and even how they helped you. Maybe you are not in a good terms now, but when you were before, what was good about that person? Let's try to bring that up, because this is the thing. Most of people are good. Most of us are good. And we all make mistakes. And most of our mistakes are due to miscommunication and misunderstanding. But if we start looking at each other as human beings who make mistakes and have good hearts and have good intentions, we are going to be able to peel those layers and get to the core of who we really are, and just have better interactions. Because it's really hard when we are in conflict with a colleague for a long period of time. So let's see if you can do that. Bonus points for you. You get some brownie points if you can do that. Our breathing of the day is the alternate nostril breathing. And I actually first came across this breathing when I was in translation school, in linguist school, and I was taking translation as one of the side classes. And my teacher would always make us do the alternate nostril breathing, so we could send more oxygen to the brain, because it really relaxes the brain, the body and the mind. But it really also gets us so focused in what it is that we are doing. And when we are doing translation and interpretation, we really need to reach that point. So this is a great breathing technique. It improves lung function tremendously, because you were breathing in through one nostril, breathing out through the other. Then you breathe in through the same one and breathe out to the other. Breathe in and breathe out, breathe in and breathe out, alternating. And then you plug one nose and then you plug the other one. I have the explanations there. If you are a student, for you guys who are students, this is such a great breathing technique before you sit down to study. As soon as you are going to sit down to study, do this breathing technique 3 to 5 times, and you just get into this alertness mode and this super focus that is really, really something really awesome. The mantra of the day is gratitude brings me into a harmonious relationship with the good in everyone and everything that surrounds me. And I love this because, again, we are radiating out, we are expanding our appreciation and gratitude to those we are spending most time with, most time in our lives with, and finding the good in the midst of so much stress and so much contention and disturbance and conflict. We can still find that. Okay, so I really hope that you're going to take some time to go through the journaling prompts today, exercise that breathing technique for when you really need to get focused. You're going to use the alternate nostril thing, and the way that I do it is just like that, right? So I plug my nose with this one, and then I breathe in, I let go, and then I plug here, and then I breathe out through that. Then I breathe in, unplug, plug this way, and breathe out. It's just really good. But let me tell you something. If you feel a little bit lightheaded or dizzy after you do that, that's normal. We just don't used to get, like when we breathe this way, the amount of oxygen that goes into our brains is tremendous. And we are not used to breathing that way and sending that much oxygen to the brain. So the brain gets a little woozy, but that's normal. Unless you feel extremely dizzy that you are about to pass out, then you have to stop. Please stop. If you're feeling shortness of breath, please stop. Don't keep on going. But if you just feel a little bit dizzy, that's okay. Stop for a moment, then you can continue and use that when you need. And the mantra repeated 3 to 4 times a day if you can, so we can get into that place of expanding our harmonious relationship to others as well. I am so excited that we are halfway through this project, and I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow and talk about tomorrow's day. Have a good night. Bye.